Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of our podcast, NGP. My name is Nick.
And I'm Gianna, and our podcast is we're basically going to talk about whatever we want, whenever we want.
Until we become famous, in which case we'll actually need a schedule.
That depends if we get there, but we'll see what happens.
We will. Don't worry about it.
So certain? Ooh,
for sure.
The confidence
There's
I like.
No doubt. How can we not be famous?
True. We're very charming people, if you couldn't tell.
That's debatable.
And fight me.
So make sure to follow us on social media. Our Instagram is at NGPodcast, and our Twitter is at NickGiannaPodcast.
Just super bad, but it's really okay.
Yeah, it is really bad. It's the only thing I could get to work because Nick Gianna Podcast is just too long, and everything else just happened to be taken. So
there's just quite a market for people who run a podcast named Nick and Gianna.
Apparently.
You know? Gotta watch the competition. Gotta learn and grow.
Yeah, we gotta give them a listen. You know.
You know how it goes.
Sure.
All right. Okay, so our first episode is about relationships and how Nick's opinions are wrong.
Okay, we have very differing opinions when it comes to
and his are wrong.
I have very common.
You have very wrong,
very common, very
opinions.
Balanced opinions about relationships.
No,
she,
they're
on the
wrong.
other hand, is far to an extreme.
No, that's debatable.
It's really not. When the people hear what you have to say about this stuff, they're going to be like, what is wrong with this lady?
It's okay. We're going to hear all of your opinions, hopefully. Hopefully you guys can tweet us out and stuff like that.
Yeah, so want to hear
telling us what your opinions are.
Say. Who do you agree with? Obviously,
yeah, who do you agree with?
There's really no point in telling us because it's obviously going to be me, but...
that's a debatable statement.
Just for confirmation, you might as well just send us a tweet saying it's me.
Confirmation, it's going to be me, so...
Yeah, whatever you say.
Alright, so our first topic will be looks and personality. And what you should notice first and what should matter more.
Okay, so... Overall, both of us agree that personality matters more, okay? Only she has it by a bigger margin. I said 60% is personality and 40% is looks.
That's wrong.
Which it seems very fair to me, okay? Is it not?
But
What's your percentage?
No.
What's your percentages?
Percentage? Mine's like, what? 80, like 20?
Ew.
Yeah,
Okay.
80 for personality, 20 for looks. That makes sense.
It doesn't, though. It
does,
40% for looks is fair.
No.
Less than half. Still a lot, though.
But only personality should matter when you're going for a relationship. Only personality should matter. It should not matter how they look. The person
has to be attractive for you to want
to
date them.
Do they, though?
Yes.
But if you were blind and you couldn't see, you would fall in love with the person who had the greatest personality. You wouldn't know how they look. So what if they were like the ugliest person you've ever seen?
Are you blind?
You wouldn't know.
Are you blind? Am I blind?
No, but so what if you were?
Why are you talking about blind people, okay?
Because if you were blind, you would fall in love with the person with the greatest personality.
But I'm not blind, so that doesn't even apply.
But if you were, it would apply.
Yes. If I happen to be blind, then you would be right, but I am not blind.
But the underlying opinion there is that personality would come out on top.
But if you're blind...
Then why should looks matter at all? Please explain.
Okay, you have to be attracted to the person you're dating because sexual interactions are a huge part of a relationship. Are they not?
Is it really that big, though?
What do you mean? Yes, it's an important part of a relationship. It's not everything.
But is it that important?
It's that important.
Okay, what is your percentage of it in a relationship, then?
Maybe 30 to 40?
That's a lot.
What do you mean?
It shouldn't be that important.
It is.
You should just
if you're not
care about said person. You shouldn't care about what they're capable of in bed.
What do you mean? That is an important part of a relationship.
Is it really that important?
It's not the most important thing, okay? But it is an important factor.
So, would you date somebody just for looks?
For a short amount of time, yes. I wouldn't let it.
That's an awful opinion.
I wouldn't let it turn into a serious relationship. If I didn't find the other person's personality attractive.
Yeah, like what if they were like a complete asshole? You would still date them?
For a little bit. Why not?
That's so terrible. Why would you do that?
If the girl who I'm dating is hot and has a terrible personality or whatever, shows any kind of sign that she's actually romantically
a terrible human being.
That she's a terrible human being?
Yeah, she probably is if her personality is garbo.
Okay, you're making me lose track of my thought, okay? Look.
Good.
See, she's using tactics to try to get her point across. Okay, just because her argument isn't as good as mine.
That's false information.
Anyway, if she's becoming attached to me, then obviously I'm not going to string her along when I'm not interested in her in the long run. But going out for a little bit, just
like that's awful. Like, okay, so let's say like you don't like her. She doesn't like you. What's the point of that?
Just having fun.
But why can't you? But you can do that with other people. Why do you have to do it with the same person? You wouldn't like the person.
It doesn't matter. You have the opportunity to do it with that person at that time, so you take that opportunity.
But can't you just go to like a bar or something and go meet people?
But then you're going to end up doing the same thing. It's not like you're going to...
Exactly. You're going to go end up doing the same thing with a possible person that you would like. Not with somebody you wouldn't like.
I don't understand what the difference is. Who cares?
Jesus. There's a huge difference. Like, personally, personality is the most important thing.
Which
like,
looks should not matter. But looks do matter.
They don't matter. They shouldn't matter. Is basically what I'm trying to convey. Again, if we were all blind, you would fall in love with the person who's the nicest personality, not the hottest person.
But we're not blind.
You know, apparently Nick wants.
We're not blind.
But if you were.
But what do you mean? If I was a billionaire, I would be living in a mansion.
That is true.
What does that have to do with anything? I'm not a millionaire, so I'm not living in a mansion.
It's just the fact of if. But the mansion conversation has nothing to do with our current conversation.
Okay, point is, your argument sucks, so...
Point is, your argument sucks.
I literally just said that to you, okay?
Well, I'm just reiterating. I'm just kind of rewording it. I know what you meant to say, but...
You mean you're just kind of reusing it because you can't think of anything
false
to
information.
Say for yourself. Anyway...
How false?
We should probably move on here.
So, what do you notice first then? Like, if let's say you're talking to somebody, would you notice like what they're saying and like like all the things that they're talking about, or would you notice their looks first? Like, what do you notice first?
Obviously, if I'm in conversation with them, I've already noticed their looks before I even started the conversation.
But like, not necessarily.
But yes, necessarily. That's the first thing you see in a person. You see what they look like. That's
Is it though? Well, obviously, it's the first thing you see.
Yeah.
But is that necessarily the first thing that matters?
Yes, it matters, because if they don't look attractive to you, then you just move on. You're not interested. If somebody is attractive, then you think to yourself, "Oh, I'm interested in maybe going on with that person."
Well, is that no?
What do you mean no?
Okay, so let's say there's this so let's say there's two people in a room. Okay,
yeah.
We got like a super attractive like model person,
oh, yeah.
lady. I don't know, and then we have like an average looking person. But let's say the average looking person had an amazing personality and like could hold a really good conversation, but the model lady person is like just her personality is awful. She's an awful human being. She probably kills dogs in her free time.
Extremes here, okay?
Okay.
If the person is killing dogs, I'm really probably not going to go out with them. But if you're saying, to use that example,
okay, let's start. Let me.
Shut up.
You shut
Unattractive person with a great personality, attractive person with a bad personality.
No personality.
in the same room, why
Like,
would
who would you go
why
talk to first?
would I want? I would have a nice conversation with the unattractive person with the good personality. Doesn't mean I would want to date them though. I would just want to have
But
a conversation
why?
with them because they're
But like, why? What's the difference?
because they're not attractive. So why would I
But
want to
that
date
shouldn't
them?
mean anything. If you can like have a good conversation, like what if like they like everything that you like and they were like super nice and they were great and you still wouldn't date them even though they're average looking?
Why would I date them when I could just be friends with them? And then I
But
could
what
still
if,
have
like-
access to their amazing personality and I won't be doing anything sexual with them.
That's so terrible.
So it works out.
That
It's a
shouldn't
win-win.
matter. Like it shouldn't matter. Like that shouldn't be the only thing that matters, especially when doing such acts. That shouldn't be the only thing that matters.
I don't understand.
But then again, you see that as like more of a fun thing, which we'll get into that later though.
Yeah. So if the person is not attractive and if you don't enjoy such sexual activities with the person, then you shouldn't be dating them.
Well, how would you know if you'd ever tried
Well-
to date? Ha.
Huh. I mean, I guess you could try it, but if it doesn't work out, then you don't do it.
But you'd go for the more attractive model lady who has no personality first,
But that
just because she
that would be-
looks
that'd
pretty.
be a lot more fun.
Who said maybe she's awful?
Awful. Which, if
In
it
bed.
turns out she's a truly terrible person, then I will no longer be in contact with her.
Well, nah, you would probably date her for a couple of months because she looks pretty.
No, I would not do that to a
That's a
terrible
debatable
person.
statement.
To a person who maybe I didn't like that much, maybe. To a truly bad person, no. I would not do that.
Jesus. But like, if you didn't like them that much, you shouldn't be dating them in the first place.
I mean, you don't know if you're going to like or not like somebody until you've been dating them for a little bit.
I don't think it works like that.
Unless there's just an extreme disconnect or connection on the first date where it's like obvious, like, no way, I hate this person or this person's amazing. Otherwise, it may take you a little while to realize if,
No, I
you
don't-
know what, I really do like
No,
this person, or
I don't
you know
think it
what,
works
it's just
like
not going
that.
to work out.
You should just know when you first like go on a date
No,
with them or you first
that
like
does-
talk to them a little. You should
It
like you should
it
know if
doesn't
you
work
like them
that.
or not.
It's not like you could predict, yes, I would love to date this person after one date. Like sometimes it's like iffy, like, you know what, she's kind of cool, you know, maybe I'll go on another date, see how that goes.
Doesn't make any sense.
That makes perfect sense. You can't figure somebody out after a couple of hours. You have to get to know them. Like, what if some person is extremely shy and they're kind of awkward on the first date, but once you really get to know them, they become a much more fun and interesting person.
Okay, that's a valid point.
Uh-huh.
But it shouldn't take you maybe one or two. It definitely shouldn't take you more than that. Like if you realize on the second date, wow, this really isn't gonna work, you should not continue going out with her. Okay, so let's say you go on like one or two dates and then you're like, wow, this really isn't gonna work, but she's really pretty, so you're just like, oh well, I'll continue this for a couple
Okay.
months. Like you don't think that's awful?
No, if she is interested in you, then it is. If it's understood by both of you that it's purely a physical relationship, then there's nothing wrong with that.
But then why not go and meet new people? That way you're just
No,
stuck with this one person.
No, you try to meet new people while that's going on.
That's an even worse
No, that's
situation.
understood by both parties.
No, that's a terrible situation.
What you have with that person is guaranteed. So why not just go for what you know is going to be there instead of just like.
But why do you need it? That's the real question.
You don't need it. You want it because it's fun.
But why? But you can do a lot of other things for fun.
Like
you can
what?
go like watch a movie, you can watch TV, you can go play video games,
But-
you can go play a sport. There's so many other things that you can do for
that
fun.
too. In addition to
But why do
what we're
you
describing.
need it?
you don't need
With
it.
some
you
random
want it
person
because it's
that
fun.
you don't
There's
like.
no negative consequences to it. Why would you not have the fun?
But there's no point to it.
The fun.
But you can do so many other things for fun.
You don't. Okay. I guess you just don't understand how fun it is.
I mean, I'm sure it's very fun, but is it like there's other things that you can do for fun? Like, why would you want to do it with somebody you don't even know that much? Like, what's the point? It makes it even worse if you don't like them that much. That makes it worse.
Is it's two people enjoying each other and having a good time.
There's no feeling. There's no point.
There is a point.
And I don't mean the physical feeling. I mean the mental or like romantic. There's
no
nothing
romantic
there.
feeling, but there is mental feeling still.
But wouldn't it be better to do it with somebody you like and care about and love?
It would. Doesn't mean it's not good to do it with somebody who you don't love.
But there's no point to it.
There is a point.
There really isn't.
Fun.
But there's so many other things you can do to have fun.
They're not as fun.
That's a debatable statement. They're probably all on the same level of funness.
Everybody who's listening to this, hopefully somebody, at least one person maybe, agrees. It's way more fun than the average thing you do.
I mean, maybe with somebody that you care about and actually
anybody.
like. No! There's just no point in doing it with somebody you don't like.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god. So I guess since we're moving into that topic, should we bounce right into the sexual acts topic that we have lined up?
Yes.
All right. So I guess we were just kind of talking about this, or like we kind of like touched upon it lightly. But why would you have sex with somebody that you don't have a connection with? Like, there's no point.
There is a point.
But there's no connection,
Who
so
cares?
you don't even know this person. Let's start there. Like, you don't know them that well. So there's no point. There's no feeling except for physical feeling, but you can do anything else to have actual other fun.
But the other fun doesn't compare.
It kind of does.
No, it doesn't. For most people, including me, it doesn't compare.
You guys are
the
whack.
level of fun in doing that stuff, even with random people, is high and far above watching a movie or playing a video game.
Like, I'd rather watch a movie than do it with a stranger, but if I was doing it with somebody I actually liked and loved, then it would be more fun. But if there's no connection there, there's no point.
But there is a point. It's a lot of fun.
You keep saying that like it's an argument.
I don't understand. Something, you really enjoy something. There's no negative consequences, unless you get pregnant, which is not good.
Or STDs.
There are consequences.
Be safe, kids.
Anyway, if you can do something that is extremely, extremely fun for little to no consequences, why would you not do that?
Because if I don't know the person, then there's no point.
Imagine you enjoyed doing this with random strangers.
Can't see that, but sure.
No, just imagine that you like doing it with random strangers way more than you do now. Like, you would much rather do that with a stranger than play Overwatch or watch some movie on Netflix. So,
even though I don't even do that often, but sure.
Okay, but just imagine that you would enjoy those activities more than that stuff. Okay.
Hard to imagine, but sure.
If you did enjoy it that much, wouldn't you do it?
I mean, maybe, but I just don't see the point. And then it's just like
the point is
you don't know them, and so I enjoy a lot of other things that I couldn't go do.
But why not do that one?
But why not go play Overwatch?
Overwatch isn't as fun.
That's debatable. Have you played Overwatch for a long time? I mean, your 50-something hours isn't saying much.
Oh my god. Just because you played over 500 hours of Overwatch doesn't mean you should be broadcasting this.
I've also had that game for like 2 years. So
I've had
that
it
game has
longer
come
than
up-
you.
Well, you're not much of a gamer.
I'm a little bit of a gamer.
Little bit, not as much.
Just a tad bit of a gamer.
All right, so I guess we can go into, even though this is obviously very obvious of what we think, we can do personal versus strictly fun. So what do you think that sex should be? Like, in those terms. If it should be a personal thing or just fun?
It should be both. It can be fun in some situations, but obviously if you're doing it with a partner that you love, it should be more than that.
But I feel like that's why it matters, is that you have to have a personal connection with somebody. If you're just doing it, it's boring. Like, why would you do it with somebody? But it
Don't you
is.
understand? It's not boring.
No, it kind of is. Because it wouldn't do... So obviously you'd much rather do it with somebody you love.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you all want to go try to find that person that you loved and not just doing things with random ass strangers?
Just because you're on your journey to find the person that you love doesn't mean you can't enjoy things on your way.
But there's no point to them.
point-
It's like a side quest in a fucking video game. Is there a point to them? No.
It's not a side quest. Look,
It's like a side quest.
how do I make an analogy here?
I just made one,
Okay.
so.
I'm trying to think of foods you like. Okay.
I already don't like this analogy.
At the end of the month,
Okay.
you will have the best sushi of your life.
I wish, but continue.
You have two options.
Okay.
You either, one, have absolutely no sushi
Why
until
would you do that?
the last day when you get that amazing sushi, the last day of the month, or you can have mediocre sushi throughout the month and then have the good sushi on top of that at the end of the month.
Okay. What's the point?
Which one would you rather do?
I would rather do the one where I get sushi every day.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I'd rather want the sushi I get every month,
Every
but
day.
it's not the same thing.
No. Yes. It's the mediocre
No.
sushi may not be as good as the sushi you'll get at the end of the month. But hey,
But I'm getting the
you're
sushi
getting
at the end of the
sushi.
month.
It's good. You'll take it. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I
Okay.
also don't have a connection to the sushi, so it's really not gonna faze me in any way what sushi I get.
What?
Cause, like, if I don't, like, okay, so with the sex thing, if I don't have a connection to the person, I'm not gonna enjoy it. There's just, like, there's no point to it. There's just, why would I do
Okay,
that?
well that's just
Why
your
would I?
personal feelings. Me and other people
A
would
wacko,
enjoy
another
it.
wackos.
We-
Because you guys are all
We're not
weird.
wackos. Enjoying
Totally
that stuff is
wackos.
not whack. Okay?
It's a little whack.
It's how our bodies were built.
Ugh. You gonna give me a biology lesson now?
Okay, but you may not enjoy it with some random stranger. Other people may really enjoy it with a random stranger.
Because you guys are whack.
But there's nothing wrong with enjoying it.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm saying it's whack. There's it's a difference.
What's the difference? How's it whack?
Because, like, come on, like, wouldn't you rather not do it with a random stranger?
No.
Like, what?
I would rather do it with a random stranger than nothing. I would rather do it with
But why does
somebody
it
I care
matter?
about than the random stranger.
But why does it matter if you do it or not?
Because it's more fun to do it than to not do it. Like the sushi, it's
there's
better to
other
have the
things.
mediocre sushi than no sushi.
Okay, this is like my blind metaphor. The sushi don't got anything to do with this shit.
What are you talking about? The sushi metaphor was so much better than your
My
blind
blind metaphor was great.
No, it really wasn't. I'm sorry.
There's just no point if there's no connection whatsoever. There's just no point to it.
For a person who would enjoy that, why should they not do it? If they're having fun.
But there's just no point if there's.
But they're having fun. They're not you, okay? They don't not see the point. They see the point. They're having fun.
But you can go have fun with other things.
But the other things aren't as fun.
That's a debatable statement.
It really isn't.
But it's okay. Hopefully, the one person who's watching this will agree with me because I'm right.
You're making no sense. All right,
Says
let's move
you.
on. Let's move on.
Okay.
So our next question is going to be, would you have a one-night stand?
Absolutely not.
Care to elaborate?
Because why would you do it? First off, you probably don't know the person that well, so they could be some psycho murderer person who
Doubt
could kill
it.
you in your.
What
How
is-
do you doubt it?
what are
There's
the
a bunch of
chances of
fucking
that?
weird people. In the world we live in,
You might as
probably
well
there's
just
quite a
not
large
interact
chance.
with anybody under any circumstance if you're going to go with that.
Well, no, I'm going with that because after like sex and everything, you would be vulnerable to being murdered. Especially if you're asleep or something, like that person can fucking kill you, man.
Okay, that's not the chances of that happening are extremely, extremely low.
Are they that
You're more
low,
likely
though?
to get hit by lightning on your way to your bedroom.
I don't think that. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think the chance
on
of
your,
a murderer is
on
more.
your walk from the bar to your car, you're gonna get hit by lightning. That's gonna be there's a higher chance that happens than somebody murders you
That's
after
a
you sleep
debate
with them.
But like, why would you do that? There's just no point. So first off, you might not even know this person that well. They could be a complete creep, and like, you don't know what they have. Like, you don't know. You can get like some kind of disease. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that. Why would you have one?
I don't see why I wouldn't do it. There's no real reason not to. It's a lot of fun.
Until you get an STD, and then then your life's kind of screwed.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
The chances of that happening are pretty low. Plus, there are measures you can take to prevent that from happening.
Hey, not everything can be prevented like that.
Okay, if you go through the necessary steps to prevent something like that from happening, and it still happens, then you just got unlucky. So, sorry to hear that.
Damn. Calling it how it is. I see you.
Nothing we could do for you. You're screwed.
Damn. No remorse. I see you. Okay, but hopefully we'll see what these other people think if anyone watches, because we've had this debate many times. We have to prove I'm right. Come on, guys. Team Gianna.
Oh my god. Delete.
Absolutely not. Don't delete that. Team Gianna is OP and we will win.
Nobody's on Team Gianna.
That's a false information.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we'll move on to the dating portion, which we kind of like opened up with, but this is like a little different. It's a little different portion.
What was that?
I think that was like I tried to do a New York accent. I just don't think it ended well.
All right, we're keeping that in.
Yeah. Okay. Keep my explanation in though. My New York accent.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're from New York. You already have a New York accent. You don't need
there's like
some
super
garbage Bronx
exaggerated
accent. Like,
don't trash the people from the Bronx.
the people from the Bronx. No.
How obnoxious.
I'm kidding.
You're such a hateful person.
We love the people from the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx.
You Coloradans.
Coloradans. I'm
Coloradans.
not a Coloradan. Okay.
You're nothing. So after all of your thing about looks and personality, and then we had the model in the room and the average looking girl example.
Yeah.
So then what is the difference between a close friend and a girlfriend?
Okay.
Or in my case, it would be boyfriend. So we'll go
Okay.
from there.
The girlfriend, you have to be attracted to your significant other. You just have to. If
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah. If you're not attracted to your significant other, then you will just be friends with that person.
But I don't think that it should matter all that much. Like,
But
the difference between...
It's necessary. If you are not attracted to a person you're looking at dating, then just call it off. There's no chance.
But what if their personality is the best thing you've ever
Doesn't
seen? Like
matter.
her,
If
it
you're not
should
physically
matter.
attracted to them, then that you can still take advantage of their personality as a friend. It's not like you're totally ditching them. Like, what? I don't want to even be associated with you. You're still getting, that friendship and utilizing that personality.
Okay, but let's just say you saw like your future wife with this personality of a girl who's like in an average kind of like body, like or face, you know what I mean. But like, what if you saw your future wife having that exact personality?
Am I physically attracted to her?
Um, no, she's average looking. So it
Well, what does that
depends.
mean? Like an average girl, you can be physically attracted to. You,
So
if she
you're
has,
not as shallow as I thought.
yeah, no, what? Of course I am. Look,
Of course I am.
if she has like a wife personality, right? And you are physically attracted to her, even though she may not be pretty or hot or whatever,
Exactly.
then that's
It's
fine. But you have to be physically attracted to the person.
but that's a good point.
If
Like, oh boy.
if you see a wife/husband personality in somebody and you are just not physically attracted to them, then you just have to pass.
Do you though?
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't matter all that
it
much.
really does.
Like, if they were average looking, like that shouldn't matter. Like, their personality's amazing. If they love you for you, why can't you love them for them?
What if you're just amazing? Obviously, they would love you for you.
You shallow piece of shit. Keep that in.
Hey.
Keep it in.
I'm not saying me specifically, just in general. If you're just like
Like a 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Like,
personality, looks, obviously she's gonna love you for you because you're just awesome. Like,
but
doesn't
those people are kind of douchebaggy half the time, no?
what?
Like, like people who are like, think they're awesome, quote
No,
unquote.
they don't think they're awesome. They are awesome.
You're totally talking about yourself because you're shallow like that.
Not talking about myself. Anyway,
So, I guess that kind of goes into the question of if you would date an unattractive person.
okay, so
If
talking about you,
I'm talking
here's
about
the
me.
guy, right?
Okay.
You just meet him.
All right, meet him. You just meet him.
Yeah, you just meet him. Met him?
Okay, met.
I'm not. It's not past tense. Like, you're meeting him now.
Okay, fine.
Okay, you meet him. He's got such a great.
Okay, wait, that doesn't sound right. Meet him.
Yeah, you meet him
That doesn't
right
sound...
now in the present tense. You
Okay,
meet him.
okay, fine.
Yeah.
Continue, good sir.
Okay. Anyway, so you meet him. He's got a great personality. You're laughing. You have similar interests.
All right.
You're like, you know what? This person's great. You
Yeah.
are not attracted to this person physically whatsoever. It's just he may not be terribly ugly. He just doesn't do it for you. Okay? He asks you out on a date. Okay?
Yeah.
Saying you have the courage to say no if you don't want to.
Ouch! Was that a kind of like?
okay,
Was that
okay.
aimed at me? I see you. Anyways,
Okay,
continue.
how about this? In your head, do you want to say yes or say no to this guy's offer for a date?
So I'm just not attracted to how he
just
looks,
not-
but
yeah.
like his personality is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go out with him
Why would you go out with him?
because looks shouldn't matter all that much.
You
His
can hang out with him.
personality is great.
You can hang out with him. Why won't you just hang out with him instead of go out with him?
Well, what if I fell in love with how his personality was? This is very
How do you-
situational.
how do you-
Oh wait, this is a first met opportunity. I see. Okay, but like if I talk to him and his personality is great, I can like that's a possible date. Like you gotta go out and meet him. You gotta go out
No.
and get to know
If
him.
the person isn't attractive, you don't go on a date with them.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. Because you have to be physically attracted to the person you're going out with.
I mean, sure, but like you could also be attracted to their personality.
But you also have to be attracted to them physically. You need both. It's a combination. It's not one or the other.
But one kind of overpowers the other.
No,
Yes.
they both need to be there. There's no
So.
overrule. There's no veto. Okay.
Yes, there is.
There's
There's
no
totally
veto.
one.
There needs to be both.
Nah, I don't think there needs to be both. I think there just needs to be the one thing, and then you're pretty much set.
Strong disagree.
I have a strong disagree with your life, but you don't see me saying anything.
Well, I do hear you saying things. You just did.
It's all right.
Oh my god.
So that's our debate. Obviously, I'm right. So if you guys want to just show your approval for my side of the argument, then just let us know on our Twitter, our Instagram, or even in the YouTube comments. Obviously, I'm right. Team Gianna all the way. We can crush Team Nick because there's no one on that team.
No, what are you talking about? Okay, I just destroyed you.
That's a debatable
The
statement.
sushi metaphor just closed
No,
the deal.
the sushi metaphor was garbage. If my blind metaphor doesn't go work for you, then the sushi metaphor does not work for
The
me.
sushi metaphor was not garbage.
It kind of was.
No matter what you say,
Kind
I
of
will
like
not
your
believe it.
argument.
My argument was not garbage. Look,
I'm looking.
are you looking? What are you looking at?
I am looking. I'm looking at our Skype box in the corner.
Solid. Just look at my profile picture, which
Oh yeah,
accurately
solid.
describes me for sure.
Oh, it really does. Kind of boring. Yeah, I see it.
I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of our podcast.
Hopefully you guys like us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are big fans.
We're gonna be. It might sound a little choppy because this is our first episode, and we're probably gonna end up cutting like half of it. Let's be honest.
True.
We're at the 57 mark right now, so when you listen to this, it'll probably be like 35
20 minutes.
10-minute episode. 30 seconds.
Darn, I thought it was longer. That's unfortunate.
They press play, it's already over.
Sounds about right. Let's be
Yeah.
real here.
Yeah, so it's our first episode, okay? Give us some slack.
Hopefully we can come up with more interesting topics to
Yes,
talk
if
about.
you want us to debate anything specific, you can let us know, obviously.
Oh,
Otherwise,
opinions.
we're just going to talk about what's on our mind at the time.
Whatever the hell we want, whenever we want.
That's right.
Bringing it back from the intro.
So creative. You're a genius.
I really am. I'm so glad you've noticed.
Of course. Okay, guys. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Okay, stop recording. We've did it. Sort of.